Good evening. Thank you for being with me tonight. We're going to look at the GOD Spider Gold shares. This chart is from April 3rd, closing 2020. So we're going to look at this. We're going to look at a formation. We're going to start going over formations. Some of them will be smaller than others. In this case, it's quite large. We're looking over this tonight because there's a lot of people out there with everything going on. They're looking at metals now, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, etc. A lot of people have been, some of them are called gold bugs, for instance. A lot of people have been buying metals over the years because of the printing that started back here in 2008. You know, it devalues your currency. And so we're going to look at this formation on the GOD because of that reason. So the formation that we're looking at right now is a cup. It's an enormous cup. And as I said in my other videos, the bigger or the longer or the larger the formation, the stronger the result at the end of it. So we would expect this long formation, and this one right here is 2012 to present. So if we go 8 years, at the end of this formation, we expect explosive results. Explosive results, if you believe in some of the things we're going to cover tonight. If you believe that all the money printing that went back here and that's going on right now are going to devalue your currency or give it less spending power. If you don't trust your government, you might be looking at this. If you believe we're going to have an economic meltdown because companies are not open for business, their suppliers can't supply them, so they're having to slow down. But the only thing I know that's moving now is grocery stores. And that's not funny. I'm not laughing about it. It's really horrible. But looking at this chart, we've got this long formation. A lot of people are looking at metals for different reasons. Some of them we just discussed. So let's look at this a little bit closer. So back in 2009, after we had that housing crisis, we went into a V recovery, pretty much on the metal of gold. And we went all the way up to about 2011. And on the GOD, we broke the 152 mark on that stock. We went as high as over 175. Right here, that line right there is 175, so you can see we went higher. And we did that on fairly heavy volume down here. So when we hit our peak, we came back, bounced again, we tested that line. And you'll know that it takes 2 points to make a line, right? So we have 1 point right here. It was a resistance. And then we came up. We hit that line again. We held it. We actually breached it, but we came up above it. There's our 2 lines. And now we have a support. So we went back up. We tested that support again, went back up, and then we finally broke through it. And when we broke through it, since that point, we have been in this massive cup formation. In order for that formation to be completed on this side, now we got to put a handle on it. And we need, after we start forming this handle, we need to stay above this line. So back over here, it held us up. We were able to stay above it. It's called a support or a floor. After we made this formation and we're in the present right here, now it's become a ceiling or a resistance. So we need to get back above that ceiling or that resistance. So we're going to look at it a little bit closer. So you can see these charts, these candlesticks are weekly candlesticks. You just have to take my word if you couldn't see it. So we come up, we're at the end of this formation, this big bold formation, and we breached that resistance and we held it at the end of that week. The next week we went higher. And then at the end of the week, we closed lower. Again, we breached that resistance. We're trying to stay on top of it. We went higher than the last time. And then we have since breached down, stayed below it, and now we're back up to it. So we hit our bottom. We came back up. We tested it. We fell down. The traders, this is a hammer right here, this last. And we'll get into much more candlestick meanings in later videos. But we can see right here that there was some massive sell-off. We rebounded. The smart money was buying in low. You're never going to hit the bottom every time. But if you're watching your formations, you have your beliefs and why you're buying it, and you're right, then you're going to make money. So we recovered, we breached that resistance, and we fell back below it, so it was dropping. And now we've got this long shadow, a body of a hammer, and the tip of it. And we're snug up against that resistance. So what we want to see is we want to see that resistance broken, and we want to stay on top of it for a week or two. It can be 3. It really, somewhere in that area. It could be a month and a half, because we have an enormous formation here. But once we get above that resistance that you see right here, once we get above there and we start bouncing on it and staying above it, at that time we are at the end of that formation, and we expect a huge move. I do personally. When I say huge, I'm looking for better than 30%, and I'll take it. It's more than what you'll get at the bank. So I'm looking for a move upward, and it could be much larger than that. Let me see, that was 152. Anyway, so we're looking for a huge move there. Again, we're looking at this chart because there's a lot of people looking at metals. Formations can form on large formations. You can have multi-year formations. You can have multi-month formations. And you can have multi-week formations, 5 or 6. You can have day formations if you're watching a daily chart. And that's what we're going to learn to trade on. So, again, depending on what you believe, if you think that we're going to have massive inflation and you need to protect the value of your money or the currency, the money is the gold, right? If you believe that, if you don't trust your government, if you believe that we're going to have a market meltdown because businesses are closing and the economy has come to a standstill, then you might be considering a precious metal. Most people are going to buy the GOD, and there are a lot of people that are going to buy the physical because they want possession of it in case something crazy happens in the market and the bank shut down, etc. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them. Be nice. If you have a specific stock you want to chart, throw it up there. We'll take a look at it. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And I hope everybody stays healthy. I hope everybody maintains their employment. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. Thank you very much.